Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Nady, and today we're going to be testing out this viral TikTok concealer. As you beautiful people know, this is about the products, not the people behind them. Any tiff you may have with them, please cast it away because this is a channel of positive energy, okay? Thank you. Oh, my little deep fried nuggets, how you doing today? I hope wherever you're at in the world, you're having a marvelous day so far. I myself am doing fabulous. I'm just waking up and I'm feeling that I have a sty in my eye. Otherwise, life is really, really good. I was gonna do a full look for today's video, but because of this thing, I don't wanna even get near my eyes. So we're just gonna do a wear time test and call it good. But what is the product, you might be asking? That is the NYX Professional Makeup Bear With Me Squeeze Serum. I was just looking up viral products from TikTok, an Allure article came up and they said this is an absolute must. And now that I've read that article, every freaking time that I open up TikTok, this stuff is popping up. And so I thought, what the hell, let's try it. Of course, this is absolutely a TikTok made me buy it. There aren't a ton of shades to choose from. I think maybe 12. There might not even be that many. But this is hella inexpensive and I think it's supposed to be a dupe for some kind of MAC concealer. I haven't used MAC in ages, so I can't really remember the product. Hold on, let me look. One of the fabulous ladies that reviewed this, I think said it was close to her Studio Fix 24 Hours Smooth Wear Squeeze, which is a MAC product and it retails for $24. This little guy is $10. So if they are similar, this could be a cheaper alternative. I've never tried that MAC product, so I don't know. But on Target's website, this has 5 out of 5 stars. I got the shades Light, Vanilla, and Beige. I'm not sure which one we'll try. The light one kind of looks a little bit gray on me. So maybe the vanilla one? I don't know, that might be a little bit too dark. Shit, I don't know. But this is supposed to cover and hydrate skin concerns. You get the ultimate hydration for up to 24 hours while covering dark circles, redness, acne, and dry patches. Okay, that really interests me because I do have kind of dry patches and redness right around this area. And kind of up here as well. It's infused with a fuck ton of skin-loving ingredients. You can get natural to medium coverage in one pump. It's vegan and cruelty-free. And you can use it pretty much anywhere on the face or body. And they say this is available in 13 shades. I haven't done anything with my skin today other than wash it. I've not even moisturized or anything because I don't quite know how you're supposed to use this. Let's read the directions on this before we pummel ass first into this. Let's see how Nady can fuck this one up. Okay, well, there aren't any directions on here, but if I remember correctly, the girl who used this did kind of go in somewhat thickly. Thickly? She used a lot, like a beauty YouTuber amount, which is just not realistic, so we'll go in a little bit like a normal person would. But she applied it with a flat brush, let it sit and kind of thicken up for a minute or two, and then she blended it out with just a dry sponge. So I guess that's what we'll do. On this half of my face, I think I'll go in with just this alone for those people who like no makeup looks. And then on this half of my face, I'll go in with just a drop of my normal foundation to see how they play together. And the gal that I saw review this put powder underneath her eyes because this is kind of like a hydrating formula. I guess my biggest concern is that it's gonna look like a metal slick underneath my eye, which for me kind of defeats the purpose of a concealer because then it's just highlighting this little well under there. Bitch, that is not what I want. I personally would much rather have a matte under eye highlight that might look a little bit dry up close but look really, really good a foot or two away than have a hydrating concealer that looks really good up close but I look like the freaking Tin Man from everywhere else. But after she powdered, it did look really good and beautiful and airbrushed and flawless. And one thing that pretty much everyone seemed to love about this shit is that even though it's hydrating, by the end of the day, it hasn't slid down to your titties, it stays in place, which can be kind of a rare thing when it comes to hydrating products. Like sometimes hydrating means slip and slide. It's basically like putting tinted lube on your face. But I guess not with this stuff, we'll see. The gorgeous TikToker that I watched did put this over a foundation, so I don't know if the foundation kind of helped this stick into place. So we can compare the sides at the end of the day. Let me shut my ass up and let's dive into this. Like I said, I haven't prepped or primed at all, so I'm gonna go in with my normal skincare all over my face. This is the Nimya. And this stuff does have a little bit of reflect to it, so if there is gonna be any dewiness, this is just gonna enhance it. I am not a dewy lover. I kind of have oily bitch PTSD, and so anytime I see shine on my face, I'm like, grease pet, even though it might look nice and hydrating and dewy like a glow from within. I just cannot fuck with it. But I could always use a little extra moisture underneath my eyes, so this does interest me. All right, we've got that, and then I always go in with my Laura Mercier Pure Canvas Blurring Primer. I talk about this stuff all the time, but it is legit my holy grail combination. Just together, it makes beautiful magic. This is the makeup version of like a foot pop when you kiss. You know how like it's a good kiss and your foot goes up in the air? This combination does that to my little foot, like it's popping. I know you can't see it, but it's up. Okay, so I kind of have a feeling that this lightest shade that I got is gonna be a little bit too light for me. Fuck, I don't know. But then vanilla, I think, might be a little bit too dark. I'm gonna go in with a light shade. We'll make this feel like Michelle Kwan, give her a little twirl. And like I said, the gal in the Allure article that I read really, in my opinion, went in way too heavily. It was also way too fair for her, so maybe it just looked like a lot because it was too light. And I think this is kind of a buildable formula, and it's in a tiny tube, which to me probably says that you don't need very much of it. So I don't want to fuck this up and do like overkill here. That is very thick. That is one pump. This might be too light for me. I'm not sure, but that texture is fabulous. It's like a cross between just a normal kind of watery foundation and being whipped. So I have maybe a quarter of a pump on this brush, and let's just dive right in. Ooh, wowee. Yeah, that might be too light for me. Oh, damn. Okay, so she applied it and then she waited a second. I do have a good bit of redness right down here, so I will take this in the usual spots that I highlight. And then she says to leave this here for a couple minutes to kind of thicken up. And my little brush did soak up an absolute shit ton, so I went in for another little dip, but I would say this is probably a third or a quarter of a pump still. It's really not that much, but now I see why it looked like an ass ton, because the coverage is absolutely there. It's been probably a minute. I'm just gonna take this little tiny baby sponge and buff it out. I wasn't sure if I should go in with a wet sponge, but I thought that might add a little bit too much dewiness. All right, so that is blended out. As far as the finish goes, it does look like a second skin. I can't really even tell that I'm wearing anything except for the highlight that's under there. Like, it's obviously a little bit brighter. I wouldn't really say that there's much. Like, yes, there is a difference in the sides, but honestly, it's less coverage and more like light bounce back. Because if I block my freaking airplane lights that are around me, there really isn't like that much of a difference between the sides, is there? Like, I can still see that purple underneath there. It doesn't really look that much different than that side. But then once you have the lights to reflect it, it does look good. So that kind of makes me wonder if these TikTokers use like ring lights, or it could be that I simply didn't go in with enough. And they did say that this is buildable. This brush did soak up quite a bit. So let me just layer this up, because this does have fantastic reviews literally everywhere that it's sold. So I want to figure out what it is that makes this so good. Also, the lack of coverage could just be that this is too light for me. Oh, oh my gosh, built up though. Ooh, that is where the fuck it's at. Even when the light is taken away, look at how beautiful that is. So I'm just gonna assume that I didn't apply quite enough the first time. All of my flat concealer brushes are kind of dirty. I need to go through and wash everything. So this probably wasn't the best brush to apply this with, because it does have room to soak shit up. So that could be my bad, but layered up, that is amazing. Oh, shit. I'm gonna give this another minute to thicken up before I go and blend it out. But even with that first little layer, that would probably be enough for me if I had my correct color. Unless I'm gonna be doing like a full glam face, I don't mind a little bit of purple under my eyes, because it still makes me look human. Like, my goal for just everyday makeup is to not look as though I'm wearing makeup, and to have a porcelain under eye makes it obvious that you're wearing shit. So I love that this product is kind of versatile. Like, you can have good coverage, or you can go in kind of minimally. And I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that that TikToker that I watched must have had a close light, because when she used it, it looked really shiny under there, but I don't see any kind of shine. Like, on my skin, I wouldn't necessarily say this is dewy. I thought it was gonna be shimmery, but this actually looks pretty matte. However, it might be because of this blurring primer. It kind of adds like a powdery effect to the skin, which in this case, I don't mind at all. It looks matte underneath my eyes. It doesn't look dry. It looks very natural, as though I've been wearing sunglasses out in the sun and I have a nice under eye highlight. Without the light, what do you think? Do you still see as much purple under there? I really think that's quite pretty. Damn, mama. Okay. This does feel pretty much set into place. However, this might want to move if I don't powder it, so I am going to powder it before I go in with the other side. I'm just going to take a little bit of Laura Mercier translucent setting powder on this fluffy ass brush, and I'm not going to go in with a fuck ton of powder today and like cake it underneath my eyes. I just need it to set into place and not feel as though it's going to move. Ooh, That actually made it prettier. Damn, I like that. Okay, so what do we think? Here's the side with absolutely nothing. Here's the side with just a touch of squee. Do we see a difference? Does this side look $10 better? It did a great job at kind of reducing the redness around there. Like it said, it didn't really stick in my dry patches. I just look a little bit more rested, and she is here for that. So let me go in on the other side with a little bit of foundation. For that, I'm gonna use the Fit Me Matte and Poreless, and I'm switching shit up today. I'm gonna go in with 125 instead of 122. And I'm also gonna go in pretty sparingly with this as well. I've noticed with this product, if you do want a beautiful natural finish, you either build it up or just go in super light. Oh, you know what? Maybe I should have gone in with my normal color. Feck. Just wanted to try something new. Actually, I think this will be fine. It's a tiny bit yellow, but I think we'll make it work. And it didn't really neutralize any of the redness that I have around my nose. So we can really put that concealer to the test. And now with this one, I think I'm actually gonna use the vanilla one. I think the light one is perfectly fine when I don't have other makeup on, but because I do have this kind of bronzy look going on, I need something a little bit darker. Otherwise, it's gonna look like a fucking clown under my eye. And once again, fabulous consistency. Oh, you know what? I found a flat brush. Okay, see, this is literally the same amount that that TikToker put on. Here I thought it was just way too much, but now that I have it in person, I really don't think it is too much. And I've kind of used like half of this on this side, so maybe one pump would be fine for the whole face. With this brush, I do kind of see the serum quality that it has. It's going on a little bit, not greasy, but kind of oily and slick. I'm curious to see how this will play with this foundation, if it'll kind of eat anything away. Does it seem to be getting darker? Can't quite tell. Here, let me just take a little bit off the brush. Oh yeah, it is getting darker. Maybe that's why this one ended up matching me so well, because they do kind of oxidize or just get a little bit deeper. Okay, well, this has been sitting on here for about a minute. Let me just take the other side of my dry sponge and blend this out. It does seem to be offering a little bit of highlight, but I really think I should have gone in with that lighter shade. I don't really see any of my foundation being eaten away. These seem to blend out very well together. But also the coverage isn't really there for me. I am gonna need a second layer, which they do say it's buildable. So for this, I'm actually gonna mix a little bit with whatever's left of the lighter color, just to add kind of a highlight. And I'll take this in the exact same spot that I put this before. And I did use an entire pump on this side, plus a little bit of that lighter shit that was left from this side. And I'll let this thicken up a little bit more, but I guess I just wish this had a tiny bit more coverage. But even if they don't have your shade and you have to get two of these and do like a pump of each, 20 bucks for this natural of a finish really isn't that bad. Like my favorite squee is I think the Estee Lauder one. Is that who it's by? Estee Lauder? Shit, I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it was more than 20 bucks. And I would honestly say that this finish looks just as good, if not better than that concealer. So having to get two of these and maybe layering them up, I don't really mind. All right, this has been drying down for about a minute. Let's just tap her out. And on this side, having not gone directly over that powder primer, it does look a little bit more dewy and kind of shiny, but it's not really highlighting my little well under there. But yeah, this is definitely pretty. In person though, I can still see the purple under there, but it's really not that bad. Like, I don't mind it. And even though it does have over a pump on here plus foundation, it still looks natural. It looks so fucking beautiful. It looks like my skin, but better. Oh, I see why she went viral. You deserve that viral moment, girl. I can tell that this is wanting to crease up, so I'm just gonna take my little fluffy brush and press a little bit of powder right under there and kind of fluff it around. This does kind of seem like a little bit of a wet formula, so I don't know that I'd recommend like pressing powder in, because I'm just afraid this would get cakey real quickly and kind of defeat the purpose of looking dewy. It might just get super matte and super dry. That actually looks very pretty. I'm really impressed. Pre-wear time test, I completely understand why everyone is loving this. It's really not accentuating my under eye little wrinklets. It's kind of blurring everything, and we film in super HD, so make sure you turn your quality as far up as it can go. One of my videos came on my TV the other day and it was in 4K and I was like, holy shit, I look like that? Ah, damn. But so far, I really don't have any complaints. I would probably prefer a little bit more of a highlighted under eye, but I could also mix a little bit more of the lighter shade that I have with this deeper shade that I used. So yes, baby, anyways, here we go. I'm gonna go do a little bit of a wear time test. I will see you in just a little bit. Check-in time. So funny thing, in natural light, I actually think this looks prettier. It's kind of a gloomy, overcast day, which is perfect lighting for this. This side, even though it has 2 layers on, it doesn't look that concealed, but again, I don't mind this kind of a look. I still look tired, but I look healthier. This side just is beautiful. I don't know that any concealer is really gonna cover up this little well that I have, but like with my foundation and everything, it just looks absolutely marvelous. And I can actually see that my under eye is highlighted. So maybe this is like the perfect amount of highlight for me. I don't know. But I actually think that the big lights upstairs kind of hinder this a little bit. It looks really, really good in natural light. Much better than up there in my studio, I think. This side, you can kind of tell that there's a little bit of glowiness under there, but it's really not that bad. This side, I certainly can see that there's some kind of like dewiness, but it's not overkill for me. I really like this. So I'm gonna give this a few more hours. I'll see you at the end of the day. And we are, oh, hold on. Sorry, I was cooking. I gave my dog a bath. I haven't been outside sweating, but I've been around a hot oven, so I really put this shit to the test. Let's see how we're doing. It is the end of my day. I'm ready to take everything off, take a bubble bath, and just chill. Okay, so honestly, everything does look pretty much the same. There is a little bit of breakage happening down here, and when I just like tap it with my finger, it does kind of come off. So I almost wonder if maybe you should press powder into this just to give it that little extra security. Like I wasn't sweating ass or anything, certainly not how it'd be like if I were actually outside. So the fact that it is coming off just from very, very light use kind of concerns me. Let's get you a little bit closer here. Okay, so this is the area in question. I don't know if you're able to really see it. I haven't had this on for ages or anything. It's honestly been like under 8 hours, maybe 6 hours. Well, maybe not even that. Wait, no, I started in the morning. Okay, it has been a little while, but not long enough to justify this kind of breakage. Again, I think this probably would have been better pressed with a powder. I don't know that it really would look cakey. Let me just take a little powder and press it under my eyes. I know we're already at the end of the day. I just want to see how it would look. So here's a good bit of a Laura Mercier gay, and I'm gonna press this the fuck right into my skin. And then just dust it away. Okay, see, that doesn't look cakey. It does kind of accentuate the dryness around this part of my face, but it's not terrible. Like under here, it doesn't look textured. It doesn't look dry. So maybe this would be better with a good old fashioned face beating and like press the powder into your skin to really set it into place. If you're not going into the heat and maybe if you don't have oilier skin, this probably would be fine without that, but it does seem to be doing that right there on this side as well. But otherwise, this honestly looks so fucking beautiful and high-end and bougie and luxurious. Like every time I passed a mirror downstairs while I was cooking, I just could not believe how beautiful this side of my face looked. This side was fine. It didn't really look like I was wearing much, but with the foundation and the concealer on this half of my face, just, I will admit though, this half of my face did look a little bit ashy downstairs. I don't know why, because this foundation honestly is a little bit too dark for me, but it was more so in this area. It was kind of just giving me a weird cast, but that could have also been because I don't have any other products on, like maybe with a contour or bronzer, it would add the warmth that I need to my skin. So I'm really not that concerned about it because truthfully, this looks beautiful. Like I honestly don't even care that this part kind of wiped away a little bit because I can work that out. Like it just takes a little bit of trial and error. It's not like it's splitting all over my face. I think it's more so because I didn't set it into place quite as tightly as I should have. But otherwise, this is worn marvelously. It is so comfortable on the face. I can't tell that there's anything there. My skin feels very smooth. Other than this little breakage around my nose, I don't have a single complaint about this. I think it's so versatile. You can go in very minimally. You can build it up. I think you could go in way heavier initially than I did, which makes sense why the TikToker that I watched did that, because you kind of can. It's almost like no matter how much of this shit you apply, you're not gonna fuck it up. Like you would have to try to fuck this up, and even then you might not be able to. It's very foolproof. You could probably use this as a foundation. It spreads out really well. It is dewy and hydrating, but it's not overly dewy and like glimmery. Glimmery? Glimmerous? Is glimmery a word? You know what I mean though? It's not shimmery. Like here on my cheekbone, it's kind of a nice highlight, as though I'd added a highlighter or a nice glow from within, and the same on this side. It's not giving me the dreaded oil slick look. It's just naturally pretty. Do I like this better than my go-to Consqueesque that I use almost every day? I think it looks pretty damn similar, and this is priced way better. This does require a little bit more work, or at least a little bit more product, but at 10 bucks, you really can't beat that. So I would say this is pretty close to my holy grail Squee. What do you think? How is it worn? Do you think it looks that different? Can you tell that I've been in the heat? Can you even see that this is breaking up right there? It might not even be that bad, but it's just kind of pilling, and you can tell that I'm wearing something right there. But on the rest of my face, if my whole face had this foundation and concealer on, it wouldn't look like I was wearing makeup. I would just look healthy and glowing and nice. So, my loves, do I recommend this shit? Yes, I do. Do I think it's worth a price? Like hell to the yes. The shade range did seem pretty decent. I hope that because this has gone viral, they'll expand and do like 40 different shades. That would be great. But I still kind of feel like no matter who you are, you could probably find a shade to work with because it does go pretty light and it seems to go pretty deep. It might not be the perfect match, but because this is so inexpensive, you could honestly mix them and make your own. Like I'm probably gonna end up mixing light with vanilla. In person, it doesn't look like there's that big of a difference, but there actually is quite a big difference. It does seem to dry down a tiny bit darker. I'm not sure if that's just because of the shit that I used and like prepped my skin with, but I don't really necessarily even mind. It plays together pretty well with my other really inexpensive products, but it looks expensive on my skin. I just don't have much to bitch about. This is fabulous. This totally exceeded my expectations. I understand why it's so popular. Anyways, my loves, there you go. This was really cool. I love when products like actually work like they're supposed to. Or no, I like when I can get products to work like they're supposed to. That's more like it. And honestly, this made me as moist as a sea sponge, so I'm very happy. And also, comment down below products that you'd like to see me try, products that have gone viral. I mean, there are so many things out there that I just don't know about, so I always have open ears. I'm always down for suggestions. But otherwise, there you go. Thank you so much for being here. I love having you. And if you'd like to support me and my channel just a little bit more, please head over to Patreon. It's patreon.com/Poplux. There you get videos a day early. You get Patreon only content. Plus, best part, it is cheap, fun, and fancy, just like me. And like always, please be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell down below so that you're notified anytime I upload a new video. Don't forget my newest collection of highlighters, including Black Ice, which does change from black to white, will be available again soon at thepoplux.com. Also, my latest album, Kiss of Fame, is available everywhere online that music is sold. Thank you so much to everyone who's supporting them. Comment down below, let me know what you thought of this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter at officialnady, and you can follow me online at thepoplux.com. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all, and I will see you again soon. Bye!